Welcome to Punch TV. It's 2019, so we've got some ideas for how to start the year on a fresh start. Fresh plate, get things going. How can you be a better person with your New Year's resolution? So we have special guest, Tricia McCauley. She is from the New Hope Dog Rescue, and she's going to tell us about how you can adopt a dog, or if you're not quite ready to make that big commitment yet, how you can be a foster parent for even just a little bit of a temporary time to help out some little puppies in need. We've got some fun stuff too, of course. Tony the Collector is talking with his friend Jody about his video game collection. Of course, it wouldn't be a January Punch TV episode without lots of good tips and roundups for what's coming out in movies in the new year, and also what was great in this past year. And we're also going to stop in at the Broadway and talk to Kirby about Winterruption, which is happening at the end of this month. So you want to know what super things are going on, so you can mark your calendars now so you don't miss out on any of the fun. So stay tuned. There's so much in store today. I'm here with Trish from New Hope Dog Rescue, and it's January, so a time for fresh starts and clean slates, and we're hoping to find new homes for some nice, sweet little babies. Who did you bring with you today?
Well, this dapper gentleman is Bobby, and he is a Shih Tzu blend, and he's looking for his forever home. He is absolutely a wonderful dog.
He smells really good.
I know he does.
Yes,
You don't say that often about dogs, but darn it, Bobby does smell wonderful. And he's also just like, he's got one of the nicest temperaments of any dog I've ever met. I love doing events with Bobby and his foster mom because they are just both wonderful people, or four-legged people.
They're four-legged people,
Yeah,
yes.
And he's just he's just everybody's favorite, I think. Aww. And we're just waiting for a really special home for him. He's got oh, thank you. I like the kisses.
Yes.
He's just a little more special needs than most of the dogs in New Hope's care right now. And he's got Cushing's disease. And so he does require a little bit more medical attention. But if you're looking for the best little lap dog companion that you could ever want, this is the guy for you. And he's not very old either. So
Yes, he's very loving.
yeah, you can visit us online if you're interested in Bobby. Fill out an application. It doesn't bind you to the dog, but you can do a meet and greet and get to know what he's all about.
Yeah, that's a nice opportunity for, to find out, like, are we savvy? Are we going to be soulmates? Or maybe, it's another little baby that's going to be in your home.
Yeah, and that's okay too. Yeah. We've got dogs for everybody. It's one of those things I always have to laugh when people say, well, do you have anything in a Saint Bernard? It's like, well, let me see what we have in the back. Like, we never know what kind of dog we're going to have. And we're very lucky to have a foster-based rescue. So all of our dogs are in wonderful homes up until the time that they're adopted.
Which is great. And I wanted to ask about that because, again, it's a new year and it's like, what can I do to make the world a better place? So even if you're not thinking of like, I want a dog forever, but I want to help out and do my part. How do people become foster parents for these little sweethearts?
It's really easy and it's really great, actually. You can go onto our website for more information at newhoperescue.org, and there's information on how to become a foster parent. And it doesn't need to be a long-term sort of foster like with Bobby, but you can even do temp foster care and even give one of our foster parents a break if they have to go on holidays.
Right.
So just do it for a weekend or a week.
Yeah, try it out first, see if it's for
what you like. I mean, the reality is there's a lot of people who sign up to foster, and then what happens? You fall in love and you end up adopting. It's happened to me twice. And yeah, it does happen. It's hard not to fall in love with these little guys.
No
and
kidding.
Even the bigger guys.
Yeah.
But we have a wonderful network of foster support as well. So you never need to be embarrassed about like, oh gosh, the dog just, ate ate something strange. Like, what do I do? Well, we've got foster support pretty much around the clock to help you out.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, it's expensive to, take care of all of these babies, and you do so many good works. you have something coming up for fundraising?
We do. We have our book sale, our annual book sale, which is fantastic. We have it at Market Mall every year. So it's January 25th, 26th, and 27th.
Perfect.
You can check out our website for more information or our Facebook. We're always happy to accept donations too of gently used books. And for what we're accepting, you can check us out online as well. But it's a wonderful, wonderful event for us. And last year we raised over $10,000 for the animals.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and Market Mall has graciously allowed us, we're going to be able to have dogs at the book sale this year. So if you come out on the Sunday, you might even be able to meet Bobby in person.
Oh,
if he hasn't,
nice.
of course, been adopted by then.
Yes. Oh, no. Somebody's going to snap you up for sure.
For sure.
Excellent. Well, I know you do all kinds of initiatives and programs throughout the province, and we will definitely have you guys on again because there's just like so much that we want to talk about. And 5 minutes goes by very, very quickly.
It really does.
But the book sale is a great opportunity for you folks out there who, maybe want to purge, clean up. That's another one of your resolutions is to downsize. So go through your collection, pull out any books that you maybe don't want anymore and want to see go to new homes and donate them to New Hope and raise some money for a very good cause.
Or if you're a book addict like me and you have a pile of haven't read yet and you want to add to it, come on down. Do that too.
Fresh, keep it rotation. Awesome, excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And thank you, Bobby. And we hope you find a new forever home very, very soon. All right. Well, thanks so much. And we'll put up the information on our Facebook page of where people can drop off books and the dates and times of when the book sale actually runs.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trish, and good luck with raising funds for the New Hope Dog Rescue.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back right after this message.
Punch TV is brought to you in part by Amazing Stories, providing Saskatoon with comics, games, toys, graphic novels, t-shirts, and more for over 22 years. Online at AmazingStoriesComics.com, in person on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Hi everybody, my name is Tony and welcome to The Collector. All right, here we are. I just want to tell a little story. Back in 1981, 82, I got a game called Atari. It was the Atari 2600, and I got all these awesome games, and it was amazing. And I loved video games. And then about 5 years after that, I just stopped playing video games. I don't know why, but I just stopped. But now I am here to talk to my friend Jody, and he's going to try to get me back into video games by talking about some of the older games and some of the newer games. Thank you for coming on the show today. Here we are.
Yes.
Tell me a little about your video game collection.
Well, I started probably mid-90s, early grade 7, grade 8. I got my first Super Nintendo I got by cutting lawns. I started collecting games. As I got older, they kind of went into storage. And once I moved out on my own, my mom gave me all these boxes full of video games. It turned out a lot of them were worth money and still fun to play. So.
Yeah. Do you buy and sell video games, or are you just mostly buying and collecting?
Both, really. Depends on what some people trade, some people sell. But there's a store in the city that I frequent a lot, High Tech Game Traders, that they have retro games everywhere for me to buy and stuff.
So
like that.
when you buy games, are you playing these games? Are you buying games and like just holding on to them, or are you like the game guy that plays everything that he buys?
I play everything that I buy. I mean, a lot of people don't like that. They'll keep their games in boxes and shrink wrap. But video games are to enjoy, especially with your friends.
They don't really wear out though, do they? Do you have a problem with like games breaking down after you play them over and over again? Like do the connections
really.
break down? Or?
Most of my games, especially the Super Nintendo and Nintendo stuff I have, they all still work.
Yeah.
But I also take care of my collection to make sure of it.
Cool.
So.
I remember, was it the Super Nintendo that came out and it had the game GoldenEye?
That was the Nintendo 64.
Oh, was that 64?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
That was a system that I did have, but I only had GoldenEye. So it was kind of, I think it came with the system and I played GoldenEye. Now, then after that, when did it kind of start being more video games kind of after the 64 that the bit started getting, higher and higher, so it became something more of a movie instead of just a quick video game?
That started with the Xbox, early 2000s.
Yeah.
The graphics and everything greatly improved when they started playing on discs and stuff like that, which, when it comes to collecting, the discs aren't as easy to keep in good shape. They can get scratched and everything, but, I mean, once you came out with Laserdisc, you were able to have bigger, greater games that allowed more time and more memories to be made with them.
Also, okay, so now there's a lot of online gaming. So online gaming brings you, are you still buying the actual game and then playing that game, or are you just basically buying it online and playing it like online? I don't really know like how that works exactly. So
well, there's a lot of online games you can download digitally and stuff like that, but I still like having physical copies of my games.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's collecting, right? It's like it's just nice having the physical in your hands instead of just having it on a system like something like that.
And that's the thing about collecting is you want to actually collect. You want to actually be buying something and holding on to it. It'd be like me reading comics online. I can read comics online all I want, but that's not collecting comics. That's just reading online.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So as a collector, you want to have that physical thing. It's actually a bit of a disease in the sense that it's like, because you really don't need it, because you can do the same thing without having it, but it's nice to have something. You're spending money, you have something that's tangent. Okay, what do you got here? So this is the classics. Now they came out with these, the classics, they came out with the, just the Super Nintendo, and they also just had the Nintendo.
The NES,
the NES too. So I have the NES, which I play. The games aren't awesome. I think there's some Pac-Man, there's a lot of it's hard to use the controllers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So what's up with the classics?
Well, the good thing about these classics for me is that they have a lot of the games that I have in physical copy, but they're on here, so I'm allowed to leave my collection
and actually be able to play the games.
And play the games without worrying about
Yeah.
maybe deleting a save file from 1996 or something.
So when you have these games then, and you're playing them, is it the same graphics? Is the same?
They're a little bit enhanced, better coloring, stuff like that with the newer technology with HDMI and the plugins and stuff. But for the most part, they still feel the same as growing up, and it's great that way.
Okay, so the big system now is that they're playing is definitely the PS4. I'm at work every day and they're talking about Red Dead Redemption over and over again. They keep talking about walking around with these horses. Why does someone want to walk around with a horse? I have no idea. Doesn't seem exciting, but that's exciting. Are you playing more games like online, more first shooter games, or are you playing?
More online right now. It's those battle royale games like Fortnite, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and then the new hotness that just came out was the new Smash Brothers game for the Nintendo Switch. So
Gotcha. We have to go, but I just want to show you one. I brought my favorite game. So I have this game for a while. This is my favorite. It's from my PlayStation 3. It's ABBA SingStar. If you ain't singing ABBA, then you ain't playing video games. All right. All right, here we go. Thank you very much, Jody.
Thank you.
We're going to a segment. What segment you want? You remember?
Winterruption?
Winterruption, not Winterruption. Thank you for coming on to the
Thanks
show.
for having me
Appreciate it.
today.
Thanks for bringing your stuff too. Thank you.
I am in the Broadway Theater with leader extraordinaire Kirby Warchenko, and we're super excited because Winterruption is at the end of this month. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel of this like dark winter. So excited. Why did you start doing Winterruption?
I'm laughing because you seem stiff with cold already. It's great. We started doing this because years ago I saw a poster in Vancouver for a festival that happens in Granville Island, and it's called Winterruption. And I stole the name, and I told my wife, in Vancouver, interrupting your winter doesn't really mean anything like it means here. And so when January is such a long, cold, dark month, December is a lot of Christmas stuff. January tends to be kind of nothing on the horizon. People are back to school, they're back to work, and they've got their spending hangovers and their eating hangovers and their visiting hangovers, and there's really not much to look forward to. And so we just saw it as a gap time in the calendar in a city like Saskatoon, where we could hopefully not take advantage of it, but give people something to do and something to look forward to. All the tours and all the big stuff, it all kicks back in mid-February and goes all the way into spring and summer. But January was just a real gap, and so we thought we'd try and fill it with something good.
Okay, well, you've done an awesome job of that the last few years, but I think you've really outdone yourself this particular year. So, obviously all the events are like your children and you love them equally, but is there anything that you are particularly excited about?
Well, I think if someone doesn't know a lot about Winterruption, I think the key thing to keep in mind is it's not really a festival. You don't buy a pass and you can't go to everything. No one could go to everything. It's a collection of events. And what we're excited about is that last year we added on outdoor Winterruption as well. And everything that happens outdoor is free, and it's centered right down the block behind Victoria School. We build this beautiful teepee that we curated and the Victoria School kids painted with Indigenous artists, and there's storytelling in it that is, you know, some Indigenous and some new Canadian storytelling. And we love that that's free and that that's the anchor for outdoor. And there's other stuff that's going to happen. There's free sleigh rides, and there's some food out there and some other stuff to pay attention to. So we got lots of partners. So more details on outdoor will come out in January. But on all the indoor shows, when we switch to that component, those are all ticketed. You buy a ticket and you go to a show. Do I have favorites? It's not favorites. What I love is that it's not a music fest. It's not just one thing. I love that in the Broadway, we have 2 nights in a row of really high-level comedy. We have Ali Hassan and Dave Merhaj, both who do a lot of national radio and things like that. And then the next night, we have Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall and Kathy Jones from This Hour's 22 Minutes. So what a killer ticket to go laugh your ass off in the middle of winter and sit here and be comfortable and see 2 really great, you know, nationally, if not internationally known comedians do their work. So I think that's cool. I think the spoken word show with Shane Koizen, that's special. He doesn't come that often. He's known around the world as kind of Canada's best known slam poet. Come and see that at Persephone. 2 nights before, or the night before Shane at Persephone as well, we have Tanya Tagaq now, who is known as a throat singer all around the world, worked with Bjork, worked with lots of big artists, and she's kind of in demand. But we're doing that night in conjunction with Word on the Street, because she just put out a book that was Giller nominated, and it's called Split Tooth. And so she's actually going to do a first set where she's doing her book reading, and then she's going to do a Q&A about the book, and then take a break, and then do a set of live music. So it's not just that we're doing Tanya Tagaq, which would be good enough. We're doing her, she didn't even have a book tour yet, and we have her in Saskatoon in the middle of January talking about this cool new book. So that excites me. You know, here we have a really cool multimedia event as well called Born to be Blue. So David Braid is a Canadian jazz kind of icon on the keys, and David he wrote the music for the movie Born to be Blue about Chet Baker. And so we're going to play the movie, he's going to do a Q&A, and he's going to play a quartet live version of some of the music.
Well, we are very inspired by everything that you've put together for us. We couldn't possibly talk about every single event and performance that you have planned. So if people want to find out everything that's going on, where can they do that?
Either winterruptionsk.ca or just go to the Broadway Theatre stuff. It's through both. You can buy tickets through both. You can come in person or call us. And all you need to know is there's 23 shows, 8 venues, 4 days, plus some outdoor stuff, and the outdoor stuff's all free. So check it out, and we'll see you outside.
Okay. Thank you, Kirby, so much for putting this on and making our very bleak winter a lot brighter. We really do appreciate it.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks for asking.
All right.
Punch TV is brought to you in part by Amazing Stories, providing Saskatoon with comics, games, toys, graphic novels, t-shirts, and more for over 22 years. Online at AmazingStoriesComics.com, in person on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Hello, lovely ladies and or dudes. My name is Hank. Sitting with me right now is the one, the only, the short shorts to my stash, the Gus to my Cinderella. It's Tony. Hey, Tony.
How's it going?
Happy New Year, Tony.
Happy New Year to you, Hank.
When I say things like, turn off your phone, stop talking, you saw the sign beforehand, why is there a 6-year-old here when it says 14A or 18A? What do you think of?
Being at home watching TV with my wife.
That's right, going to the theater. And because it's a new year, Tony and I, we are going to dish out some of our favorite films and television shows from the year 2018. Right now, Tweet Beat. Hey, Tony.
Yes,
2018 movies.
Yes.
Favorites. Thoughts?
Solo. Definitely a great movie. A lot of people didn't like it, but that was a first-rate Star Wars movie in my eyes.
So coming from the #1 Star Wars fan on planet Earth, that is a high recommendation.
It was good. It became a thing where people were against everything to do with Star Wars, and I went to it with kind of like, it's not Harrison Ford, but I watched it. It was a great Star Wars film. Any movie that has stormtroopers and TIE fighters is a movie that you want to see.
What Star Wars movie should people not watch?
The Last Jedi.
Speaking of some other movies you should watch, on the fancy list here, it is not all of them. I have not seen about 3 or 4 that I really want to see yet, but as of time of taping, The Favorite. The Favorite? Have you seen it?
Nope.
Watch it. Green Book. Have you seen it?
No.
Watch it. Black Klansman. You see that one?
No.
But it's got Adam Driver from Star Wars in it.
No, I didn't know that. How was
Okay.
it?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
You Were Never Really Here. Leave No Trace. 8th Grade, another one. It'll take you back in time to when you were in 8th grade. Do you remember that far back?
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah?
I sure do. I have a good memory of grade 8. Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
In grade 8, I was smaller and faster.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You probably.
Which is weird if you think about it.
What was your haircut like in grade 8?
I had the bowl cut. Mom would cut the bowl.
Yeah?
Yeah. The bowl was the way to go. No bowl. Like, it was just bangs straight across.
A couple other movies. Paddington 2, not just for kids. Like, the movie is like, it is one of the best movies of the year. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That.
My favorite Marvel movie, one of the best movies of 2018. At time of taping, Craig has not seen it, and he is here in the studio with us, so we won't talk any more about it, but you have to see it.
Better than Iron Man 2.
Better than Iron
with
Man
Mickey
2.
Rourke.
Better than Iron Man 2.
Mickey Rourke was in Iron Man 2. Nothing's better than that.
Tony, you ever watch TV?
I do. I watch TV a lot.
Great.
Actually.
Let's talk about some of the things maybe last year you were watching
Sure,
that you
yeah,
enjoyed.
definitely. We watched the Stranger Things TV show.
Oh.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was
really
pretty
good.
good. We watched The Expanse recently. Was that
Ooh.
from last year? Yeah, like the
One of the
third
seasons was from
yeah.
last year, yeah.
I hadn't seen that before, and it was like 1, 2, 3 over. We couldn't stop watching it. That is an amazing film. A lot of it actually produced here in Canada, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, so yeah, it's an amazing, amazing TV show. Yes.
You ever watched The Americans?
No, I've never seen The Americans.
Final season of The Americans finished last year, one of the best TV shows ever. So now you can just watch them all. You don't have to wait for another season.
Is
It's
that
all
it?
done.
That's an HBO TV show.
That
is it
would
not?
be an FX.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't seen it. I'll have to get that.
FX.
FX.
Speaking of FX on FXX, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It keeps getting better every year.
You know, every time I go somewhere, people say that I talk the same as that guy from
Yeah, Charlie Day.
Yeah,
That's you.
That's me. Yeah,
That's you.
So, yeah.
Oh.
I've actually done voiceovers as well. So,
Really?
Yeah, I
Good
do
for
some
you.
voiceovers.
How about House of Cards? You ever check that out?
I've seen a few episodes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
The
all right.
final season
Yeah.
ended, and I thought there was a whole bunch of episodes. Then I was watching episode 8, then it ended, and I go to episode 9. There was no episode 9. I'm like, ah! And at the end, it was kind of like I had to choose my own adventure to just plan it in my head. Now I know what happened, but it's, oh my God, yeah, you gotta check it out.
But
Okay.
nobody else knows. The last episode, it doesn't happen. Like I
It's
don't
like the
understand.
last episode, there's a huge cliffhanger, and you're like, oh, it's so
gotcha.
open-ended, and you're like, ah! But there was no more episodes, so I had to create
I
my
don't
own
like
ending.
that. I don't know if I like
It was
that.
good.
That's good.
So Barry, HBO, Kidding with Jim Carrey. You watch it?
I watched a few episodes of it. Yeah, I love Jim Carrey. I'm a Jim Carrey fan, so yeah, I love Jim Carrey.
Awesome. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, season 2, awesome. And also Homecoming. I do not enjoy Julia Roberts, but I enjoy weird television. So if you have not watched Homecoming, one of the best shows last year. So for everything that you should be watching, reading, listening to, playing, follow at Hank and Kelso and at Shaw Punch TV. My name is Hank. This is Tony. See you next time on Tweety.
GB.
What up, movie lovers? I'm Craig Silliphant, the Movie Geek for Punch TV. It's a new year, so I wanted to look at some of the most anticipated movies of 2019. There's too many movies I'm psyched for to mention today, so we're going to stick to the first half of the year. And I'm not talking about art house or foreign or other film I'm into. This is a show for the nerds, so let's talk about the good nerdy stuff. And even with that criteria, there's still too many to mention, so this is really just the highlights from now until the end of June. Geez, with all this criteria, I probably could have gotten to a few more movies instead. Whatever. The Lego Movie 2, the second part, comes out February 8th. The heroes of Bricksburg face a new threat when Lego Duplo invaders start wrecking everything. It's up to Emmett, Lucy, Batman, and their friends to restore harmony to the Lego universe. I'm interested to see how this one goes. I love the first movie, but talented writers, directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller aren't directing this one, though they did have a hand in writing and producing. We'll see if it can be as imaginative as the first one. Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson and Sam Jackson, comes out March 8th. I can't say the trailer blew me away, but I'll put my trust in Marvel, and it's great to finally see Marvel's first solo female superhero movie. I also wonder what clues we'll get to the events of Infinity War here. Some people are complaining about Disney turning its classics into live-action movies, but it doesn't bother me. If they make a good movie, they make a good movie. Dumbo comes out March 29th, one of 3 Disney classics going live action this year. The reason this one intrigues me though, Tim Burton. He doesn't always make great movies, but he makes cool, unique movies, and Dumbo's already a great story. Nothing can possibly go wrong. Another superhero movie in a ton of superhero movies this year is Shazam, which comes out April 5th. About a teen who receives the power to transform into an adult hero with the powers of super strength, flight, and more. Chuck Zachary Levi stars as Shazam. This one looks like it might lean more on the comedy angle and less on the superhero stuff, but I've just seen the one trailer, so we'll see what we get. Superhero movies are big, but so is horror. The king of horror is Stephen King, and he's having another hot streak of adaptations the last year or so. A second adaptation of a great book, Pet Sematary, comes out April 5th. I actually love the original version of this, quirks and all, so this one will have to beat the 1989 film in my mind. We'll find out whether, in the movie reboots, sometimes, Lewis, dead is better. Another reboot that may find it hard to improve on the original is Neil Marshall's Hellboy, based on the comic book character. David Harbour from Stranger Things plays Hellboy this time around, and if you didn't recognize Neil Marshall's name, he directed The Descent, a darn scary horror movie from a couple of years back. It'll be hard to beat Guillermo del Toro, though. He made 2 great Hellboy movies. And thank God they aren't going to make us wait 3 years or something to find out what happens to our Marvel heroes after Infinity War. Avengers Endgame comes out April 24th. I bet a few people go see it. We know almost nothing about what'll happen in the film, save the fact that Hawkeye's back, Ant-Man joins the fight, and Tony's lost in space, all revealed in the first trailer. Captain Marvel may provide some clues, but since this is the end of the MCU Phase 3, we'll probably end up saying goodbye to a few more characters. Next, the first movie from the highest grossing media franchise ever. Can you guess what it is? It's Pokemon! It's never been my thing, but the trailer looked like a lot of fun, so I'm on board to check it out. Detective Pikachu comes out May 10th. It mixes live action with animation and features Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. Still with me? We're almost to the end. The third movie is an action trilogy that's turned heads and then shot them. John Wick Chapter 3 comes out May 17th. I don't like Keanu Reeves, and I actually had a lot of issues with John Wick 2, but the first one was so good that I'll put my butt back in a seat to see if they can recreate that magic. It was so good, it made you forget how horrible of an actor Keanu is. And the last superhero movie on our list is Dark Phoenix, released June 7th. Some of the X-Men movies are great, some of them not so much. Apocalypse! Oh, excuse me. But we're getting some great actors back like James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence. And we've saved one of the best movies for last. Toy Story 4 comes out June 21st. I'm not sure they need another one after rounding out an amazing trilogy. Oh wait, money, right? Yeah, they want the money. But I'm sure Pixar knows what they're doing. It could be a great new story featuring our favorite toys, or it could be one too many and tarnish the reputation of their greatest property. I'll give Pixar the benefit of the doubt, of course. Whew, that was a lot. I need a glass of water. Hey, I'm Craig Silliphant, the Movie Geek for Punch TV, and we'll see you at the movies.
Well, that wraps up another episode, the first episode of 2019 for Punch TV. I want to say a very big thank you to Trish from New Hope Dog Rescue, and of course Bobby and his foster parents who brought him down today to show him off to the public. Hopefully he finds a forever home. Of course, thank you to Kirby Wachenko from the Broadway Theater for telling us all about Winterruption. Thanks to Jody for coming and sharing his collection. And thanks to the cast and crew. And of course, thanks to you for watching. Kate Perduke's up.
My name is Hank. This is Tony. See you next time on Tweeby.
Tweeby. You got to point. I think it'd look better if we pointed. There we go. That's the way to do it.
But it's rude to point.
It's TV.
I was always told it was rude to point.
You can do what you want. It's TV. Right.